We week went well. I went down to my mother's and went to an auction, a southern auction of a guy who would like to collect guns, and he had some power tools. So I got a table saw. I bid on a table saw, so be making some things with that. And there was lots of people buying rifles and so forth. It was a very interesting experience, very southern experience.
Yeah, beautiful.
Somebody spent $4,000 on a gun. $4,000. I don't know how much that would be in your currency.
I think that
Probably,
will be,
you'd know more than I would.
yeah, I think that will
50,000
be
probably.
very exactly. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna say that.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's a lot.
Okay, well,
It's a
let's do
lot.
it. Let me share the screen. Okay. Number 2, obsession with the body.
Okay.
Maharaj, you are sitting in front of me and I am here at your feet. What is the basic difference between us? There is no difference. Still, there must be some real difference. I come to you, you do not come to me. Because you imagine differences, you go here and there in search of superior people. You too are a superior person. You claim to know the real, well, I do not. Did I ever tell you that you do not know and therefore you are inferior? Let those who have invented such distinctions prove them. I do not claim to know what you do not. In fact, I know much less than you do. Your words are wise, your behavior noble, your grace all powerful. I know nothing about it all and see no difference between you and me. My life is a succession of events just like yours. Only I am detached and see the passing show as a passing show, while you stick to things and move along with them. What made you so dispassionate? Nothing in particular. It happened that I trusted my guru. He told me I am nothing but myself, and I believed him. Trusting him, I behaved accordingly and ceased caring for what was not me nor mine. Why were you lucky to trust your teacher fully, while our trust is nominal and verbal? Who can say it happened so? Things happen without cause and reason, and after all, what does it matter who is who? Your high opinion of me is your opinion only. Any moment you may change it. Why attach importance to opinions, even your own? Still, you are different. Your mind seems to be always quiet and happy, and miracles happen around you. I know nothing about miracles, and I wonder whether nature admits exceptions to her laws. Unless we agree that everything's a miracle, as to my mind, there is no such thing. There's consciousness in which everything happens. It's quite obvious and within the experience of everybody. You just do not look carefully enough. Look well and see what I see. What do I see? What do you see? I see what you too could see here and now, but for the wrong focus of your attention. You give no attention to yourself. Your mind is all with things, people, and ideas, never with yourself. Bring yourself into focus. Become aware of your own existence. See how you function. Watch the motives and the results of your actions. Study the prison you have built around yourself by inadvertence. By knowing what you are not, you come to know yourself. The way back to yourself is through refusal and rejection. One thing is certain, the real is not imaginary. It is not a product of the mind. Even the sense I am is not continuous. Though it is a useful pointer, it shows where to seek, but not what to seek. Just have a good look at it. Once you are convinced that you cannot say truthfully about yourself anything except I am, and that nothing can be pointed at, nothing that can be pointed at can be yourself. The need for the I am is over. You are no longer intent on verbalizing what you are. All you need is to get rid of the tendency to define yourself. All definitions apply to your body only and its expressions. Once the obsession with the body goes, you will revert to your natural state, spontaneously and effortlessly. The only difference between us is that I am aware of my natural state, while you are amused. Just like gold made into ornaments has no advantage over gold dust, except when the mind makes it so. So we are one in being. We differ only in appearance. We discover it by being earnest, by searching, inquiring, questioning daily and hourly, and by giving one's life to this discovery.
Yeah. Wow, that's that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And I seem to like the parts of the attention when he spoke about the attention, because like normally when that imagination of being somebody arises, it's because the attention is focused on the body. You know, it's not that you are really the person. There is no person. It's just that the attention is focused on the body, and then there seems to be a real person who's living life. But in actual fact, there's no real person. There's just spaciousness, emptiness. So when the attention comes back to yourself, it is seen that there wasn't any real person. The person was just imaginary, or the me was just an imagination that seemed to arise as a result of the attention that is focused on the body. Because, you know, when you walk around, you can hear every conversation that seems to be going on has to do with the body. People usually say, oh, yesterday I went to the park to do this and that, and my body is I'm feeling pain. I'm feeling pain, and you know, I'm not well. They refer to the body. So that's when the attention is given to the body, and then it seems as if there is a real separate person, but there is no separate person. But the body itself is innocent. It is only the imagination that arises, or a thought construct that says, I'm the body, I'm this body, I'm a man, and this body is a man. So I'm different from other men, I'm different from other people, because the attention is focused on the body. So, but when the attention moves and is focused within, is focused within this spaciousness, in this seeing, and then it is seen that there's just nothing. And then what seems to be sensations and thoughts, they are just arising from nothingness. They appear and disappear in this nothingness that you are. And this nothingness that you are is not a human being. It doesn't have uh, any nature of being a human being. It doesn't, it's just nothing. It's just, some they call it boundless energy, spaciousness, but you can call it whatever, because it's nameless, formless, and empty. And it's got nothing to do with what seems to be a human being, because what seems to be a human being is just imaginary. It's just a program. It's just a dot construct. It's not real.
Yet, you know, he says this thing in here that I really enjoy, that I go back to. Let's see. Oops. Okay. See how you function. Watch the motives and the results of your actions. Study the prison you have built around yourself by inadvertence. By knowing what you are not, you come to know yourself. The way back to yourself is through refusal and rejection. One thing is certain, the real is not imaginary. It is not a product of the mind. You know, I mean, it feels like there's this odd thing that happens when you watch yourself, you come into focus, and the eccentricities of the character come into focus, and they begin to unwind, right? Just by watching. If you can watch dispassionately and without judgment, the character changes, and the character changes for the better, right? And the more that you have that distance, or don't claim that being, the more the character improves. Yet it's illusory.
Yes.
So you say it has nothing to do with the character, yet living in that space improves the illusory character substantially. What do you think about that?
Yeah, the character, as long as it is not looked for or watched, it seems to be real. As long as that attention is focused on that imagination that I'm somebody, or is focused on that programming that so and so was born one day, then the character seems to be real. But when you pay attention or you focus, when you bring back your attention to yourself, to the seeing, to this nothingness, it is seen that there is no character at all. It's just imagined. It's just a program that is dependent on the past, that doesn't even exist. Because when you say I'm Charles, I was born one day, and then in 1982 I did this and that. So that's a program that seems to have a past. But when you focus your attention here, now, in this seeing, there is no past. There's no past here. There's no present here. There's no future. There's nothing here. It's all in the imagination. So there's nothing going on here. Even the words that are being spoken right now, they can never be found. It's all imaginary. It's all imagination for nobody. Nobody is imagining anything. This just what seems to be happening. And it's not even happening. It's just what is. So what seems to be happening right now has got nothing to do with the character. Because the character is also an imagination. The character never happened. When what seems to be the character disappears, or what seems to be an apparent character disappears, it is always recognized that there wasn't any character. And it's also recognized that it never disappeared because it never even appeared in the first place. So, yeah, this just what is. Watching the screen, listening, watching the screen, but nobody watching the screen, listening, but nobody's listening, thinking, but nobody's thinking. So things are okay just as they are. But when it seems as if there's somebody who's claiming that, oh, I'm thinking, I'm watching the screen, then that's an illusion. Things are real as they are. But somebody who claims to do, to think, to walk, to watch, then that's illusory.
You say there's nobody imagines the character.
Yeah.
I mean, don't you think that everything imagines the character? Life, it's the very nature of life is imagination and creativity, which what gives birth to the 10,000 things and gives birth to the trees and the dragonflies and the frogs and the character and the computer screen. That it's just endless creativity and imagination of the one.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I was referring to the separate individual. That's
Right.
there is no individual that can imagine that. So this just yeah, you can say it's just life. But life, when you talk about life, life is not something that can be pointed to. It's not something that has a center. It's just, it's just
Life is not something that can't be pointed to. Everywhere you point is life. Life is everywhere. It's all life. It's all imagination. It's all creativity. It's full.
yeah.
It's not separate. That's what you were saying.
Yeah.
It's not separate.
Yeah. Even what seems to be the pointer is also life. So there's no
Right.
pointing. It's just life.
Life is pointing.
Yeah. Or you can say what seems to be the pointer and the pointing and what is being pointed to is just life. So you can say there's just life. Everything is life. So it's beautiful just the way it is. Doesn't need to be changed. Even what seems to be someone who's trying to change still is. So there's no escape.
There is no escape.
Yeah.
Even in death, there's no escape.
Yeah, there's no that.
Just endless life.
Yeah, there's no that. You'll never die because we were never even born. You're alive. There's no death to life. So when what seems to be the body drops, then life recognizes itself. It's just life. And it recognizes that it's never been a human being. It's never been a man or a woman. It was just life.
I don't know, does it recognize or does it just shine? Is there consciousness to recognize? I don't know. Have to wait and see, I guess. Yes, the other day occurred to me, the world is like heaven. You're in heaven forever. It'd get pretty boring. What would you do to pass the time? Well, maybe anything that could, anything that you imagined could come true. And in the process of the imagining and it coming true, you could lose yourself in that imagination. And then it would be over and you could imagine something else. Like heaven. You know, you wouldn't want the movie to be all happy, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, there is there can never be boredom if there is no imagination of being somebody or an individual or the me. What seems to be boredom arises as a result of taking yourself to be somebody, a separate somebody. Then boredom arises because that's imagination or in me seems to be interested in doing things, likes to do this and that, can't sit quietly, you know. When there's just silence, the me would say, "Oh, I wish I could listen to music. I
Right.
can't just sit here, you know." The me likes to be busy, to do this and that.
I mean, but I wasn't talking about, when I was talking about it being heaven-like, it's talking about a person, life itself. Life wants to get lost. Life wants to lose itself in endless imaginings. Life gets to have an endless movie from any and all perspectives. It's the life itself is entertaining itself.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's only life. So life can imagine itself to be certain somebody who's moving through time and space. And that certain somebody may seem to die in the imagination or in thought, and then may find that somebody may find himself somewhere, beautiful place called heaven, as you mentioned. And then that's still even in that different states of that somebody, of an individual, there's still a story. So a story may seem to continue, but this just life. There's nothing wrong or right with anything. It's just life. So your life imagines itself to be different people. to be different things. Trees, trees, animals, objects, you know. So everything is beautiful. So there's no judgment for anything. So judgment doesn't arise for anything because everything is just an expression of life. So life cannot be killed. Life cannot die. So that's why I usually say there are no trees, there are no animals, there are no human beings. So this is just life. There are no independent human beings or independent animals and trees. It's just life expressing as every tree, every plant, every animal, every human being. So nobody has ever died.
How do you like your new computer? Is it working
Sorry?
okay? Is the new computer working okay?
Yes, yes,
No
yes, it's
problems.
fine. No problem at all. No, it's fast and yeah, it's effective.
Good, good.
Yeah. But yeah, I still have to download an antivirus. Yeah, antivirus just to make it to keep it well.
The Microsoft ones work pretty well now. You just use the internal Microsoft antivirus. I think that's enough these days.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, unless you're you don't want to download any programs and run them, but besides that, or go to malicious websites. But if you're not doing any of that, the Microsoft one should be enough, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's good.
Did you get Windows?
So it comes,
Yeah, it comes with it.
it's Windows 11. Oh,
I think so.
nice.
Yeah.
I think it's Windows 11. Yeah.
I've got Windows 10, but I never have any problems anymore. Yeah.
Nice. That's nice. It's nice. So how's the family?
You know, my mother, her mother was or her grandmother came from Scotland, and she was a very proper person. She had antiques and tea sets and teacups, and you know, and she kind of raised my mom, and my mom has a very, very high class sensibility. She likes nice things, and she's an antique dealer. And now she's 75 years old, and her husband is 80 years old. So they've got this really big house that's just jam packed full of amazing things. Just like the best of the best, like anything from like Chinese pottery to like slave made pottery to like she has this huge carved monk that came from some church, paintings, silver. and she's 75 years old, right? So she's
Wow.
so I mean, of course, she never needed any of that stuff. Nobody could ever need any of that stuff. But now it's like, I'm like, Mom, you got to start getting rid of your stuff, because otherwise I'm gonna have to come in and get rid of it myself and use it to continue to feed you, um, trying to get her to realize that she needs to. And it's not like she's materialistic, because oddly she's not, I mean, things just come to her. She appreciates them. And it was part of her business, and it just comes to her, And she's generous, she'll give stuff away, but then she just gets more of it, it just keeps on like and like, I was just sitting there in the kitchen, just this gorgeous plate on the wall, beautiful painting in the plate, porcelain, I don't know, British or something. Just a gorgeous scene. I'm like, is this a new plate? And she's like, yeah, I just got that. I'm like, you just got that? Why did you get a new plate for the wall? She's like, yeah, I don't know. But her husband is going deaf, and so you have to scream at him for him to hear. And that's very frustrating for him and the people around him. And it's frustrating for my son. We went down there together. That was nice. My wife had some time alone. And so he's spending some time, just sort of decompressing from college and going to be looking for a job. And yeah, I mean, it's night and day here. It's just so quiet and peaceful. And every morning I go out and meditate in the trees and really try to lose myself in the trees, which is easy to do. Trees are aware. It's easy to lose your mind in the character disappears. I mean, you can't really do anything with your mind, right? It's always going to be there, but certain circumstances you don't notice or it doesn't stick. So
Yeah,
that's nice.
it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah, it's also advisable not to judge, because when you're not judging what appears for different people, colleagues or family, then in a way that's another way of like just that imagination seems to dissipate of being somebody, because it seems to intensify when you judge different people that they, it seems to intensify. But when you don't judge, there is that sense when you allow things, to be as they are, not try to change certain things or certain people, the character seems to dissipate
Yeah,
and becomes nothing.
I got to work on that one. Gotten better,
Well, it's also,
go ahead.
okay, it's also a beautiful story appearing in this. What is? Yeah, it is. It's not that it will like be happening really. It's just a story, you know. But what I was saying right now, it's what happened to to this the apparent character when you're still seeking.
Yeah.
When it's used to judge, then the character seems to intensify and it seems to be more solid and real. But when there's no judgment, it dissipates. Yeah. Oh, you were saying something?
I don't know. I mean, a lot of times it's you see things happening, you're working, you're part of the story too, right? Manager, you have to correct people. No, it's over there. Write it this way, whatever it is, that's part of the story, part of the character. But then you start to understand when to shut up, or when to when it cuts to a personal thing, or when you're not helping, or when you can't change, or when it's not constructive. And with my mother, her collection of antiques and everything is amazing. To have a house like a museum, she enjoys it. There's no better place for the plate to be than on her wall, and all of her life with her sense of fashion and the ways that she's dealt with people, appreciating things that are fancy and beautiful is just a part of natural, beautiful part of her character, but I'm just thinking about the end of her life and all of that stuff, and trying to help her reorient and talk about maybe her moving closer to us, and talk to her about all that stuff. And she heard it, she heard it, and she knows it. She knows parts of it, and she's turning. So although I said all of that in a perhaps judgmental, funny kind of way, it wasn't meant to be judgmental. But absolutely, man, Trump, the impact of Trump on this country is really amazing. I mean, just saw so many people that were spiritually minded, talking about spiritual stuff all the time, all of a sudden go to talking about how bad other people were about 100% of the time, and it destroyed, the path. And, I too felt, I felt very, have you ever heard of the process of metta?
No.
Metta is a Buddhist practice where you think of somebody that you love, you wish them peace, you wish them happiness, you wish them what is it, security, sense of well-being, and then you think of someone that you hate, an enemy or somebody that you've got a problem with, and you wish them well, and then you do it to yourself, compassionate to yourself, and then to all people. And it's something that is transformative for people who really do it religiously, or are transformed by that process. I've seen it in the Buddhist community, because a lot of people have to forgive themselves, have a lot of feel such guilt, or lack, or whatever, or are consumed by hate or holding on to something that had happened. So it can be really transformative. But I myself, spent a lot of time doing metta for President Trump. Because I felt it had a grip on me, that judgment had a grip on me. It's amplifying the character, as you say.
Yeah.
And having compassion for that guy, understanding, appreciating, maybe not understanding, appreciating his circumstances, what made him who he is, the character, the cause and effect, and just the pain involved in being that person, the pain that he must feel.
Yeah.
And having compassion for him in that situation. When he can do that, and the people around him, that's really liberating.
Yeah. When the attention is focused in space, only in space, and then what seems to be different people and things, they become out of focus. So in that sense, there is no judgment for them. They are seen as just appearances. They are seen as just empty, because there is no focus. The attention is not given to like a certain somebody. When the attention is focused on in space around those people or whatever things they may see, they may appear, then everything becomes out of focus. So in that sense, everything is beautiful. There is no judgment. There is no judgment at all. Things are seen as one.
So when
The one giving.
running around Durban destroying everything and rioting.
Well, the sin is just it was seen as just movement in what is just movement. It wasn't taken seriously. Well, the character is superficial, it's there, but it's not like before, as it was taken seriously. Everything is light, you know. There is no judgment. Anything may appear, it's just appearing, and then it disappears, It's not given much attention.
Never felt any anger, frustration?
No, not at all. Not at all.
That's awesome.
Because there's no center. There's no center for that to hold on to. There's just spaciousness. What seems to be frustration, anger, may seem to be there when there's a center, imaginary center. That's why when that arises, somebody says, I'm angry, I'm frustrated, I'm me, I'm angry. So there seems to be that center. But when there's nothing, it's just spaciousness. There's no desire, even desire doesn't arise.
Yeah. No desire, no fear.
Yeah. of fear. So this doesn't recognize uh, a separate person as real. This doesn't know you as real. It just knows itself as nothing. So somebody swearing at it's it's just pointless. It means nothing at all. There are no patterns. You know. When you talk in a certain way, this may just say, "Oh, I didn't like the way you were talking." Better watch your words. So everything is thought based. Every situation or problems, troubles, there's just thoughts. So if thoughts are seen, there must be that space where they are seen from. That space is just what is. It's what you are. It doesn't move, it doesn't talk, doesn't have any intention to do anything. It's desireless. Total freedom. Even the body, that body might be maybe obliterated, destroyed, but the space will just remain. And there will be a recognition that there's never been anything else but this space, this light, aliveness. So an individual has never existed. It was all imagined. So right now, in the midst of searching, in the midst of looking for what is, there is no individual, but an imagination of being somebody claims that I'm searching, hoping to find what is. But that's just a thought construct. There is no real somebody who's searching. There's just searching happening. Nobody's doing it. All those people who say I'm doing this and that, they're not it, they're not there. Nobody has ever done anything. And nobody's doing anything right now. I'm not talking right now. There's just talking happening. And nobody's listening there. There's just listening happening. Nobody's getting it already. So nobody can lose it. You never lost it because you never got it. Because there's no you. There's just what is. There's just it. It dreams itself as somebody who takes a journey to find itself. Yet when that somebody is about to find it, he just suddenly disappears. And it is recognized that there's never been somebody who was on the journey to find this. It's just a dream. It's all a dream. But nobody's dreaming. So right now, there's no one here. There's nothing happening here. Unless a thought says something is happening. This spaciousness is not happening. And there's no story here. There's no day here. There's no Tuesday here. There's no time here. And there's no here, even. So there's no somebody who knows anything here. It's just this. And this has no location, has no center. So nobody can lose it because nobody can find it in the first place. Because there's just it. The looking, the searching is not being done by somebody. So it's just searching happening, going on by itself. Blinking, nobody's doing it. It's just blinking happening. Heartbeats, we are not doing it. It's just happening by itself. Same goes with standing up, going to the loo, or going to the kitchen to prepare something to eat. We are not doing it. In the same way, the heartbeat, we are not doing it. It's just happening by itself. Any decision that may seem to be taken, we are not taking it. So you never came here. You never moved. So when blinking happens, there is no thought that says, let me blink now. Imagine if there was a thought that says, whenever before you blink, that says, let me blink. How many times will you be saying that? Because
Thoughts themselves, thousands of thoughts a day. What if you had to like think them up? Exhausting.
Yeah, so much. So, in a case of a newborn baby may seem to move the arms around, rub the face, do anything, but there's nobody who claims, oh, I'm doing this, it's just happening by itself. So it's beautiful. So it's still the same even now when the body has grown. It's still the same. Stretching, walking, it's just happening. We're not doing it. The doer.
Would you
Is a
say the
ghost.
doer?
The doer is a ghost.
The doer is a ghost.
So walking happens by itself, and then somebody claims after, say, I'm walking. No, you're not. There's no you. It's just walking happening. Any problem that may seem to arise has to do with being the body. So if this body is feeling pain, then because you think you are the body, then you think you exist and you think you are the body, then you are feeling pain. I'm feeling pain. Oh, and I chest pain. No, it's not you. There isn't a you. That's just what's happening. So whatever may seem to happen is not personal. It's just what seems to be happening. It's happening to me. It's a thought. It's just a thought that seems to identify itself with the body. Well, that's not to say that is wrong or right. It's just what seems to be happening, and it's beautiful. So what seems to be the space that is seen is empty and full at the same time. So it's what you are. So everything is appearing within you and disappears. what seems to be happening is not happening to you. It's happening in you.
Is that your aunt?
Yes. Yeah, she's getting ready.
It sounded like a little kid there for a minute.
Yeah. She's I think she's now she's 63. Yeah. Mm.
Just a little older than me.
Yeah. Yeah, she's very funny. She likes to joke around. Mm. And very supportive as well. Mm.
Well, I guess I should let you go, huh? It's about that time.
Yeah, yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Thank you, Nkosi.
Yeah, welcome. Always
Okay.
welcome.
I'll upload the video. Talk to you next week.
Thanks. Oh, sorry, before you
Yeah.
close, I uploaded the video that you
Uh-huh.
sent me on YouTube, and then I also posted it on Facebook.
Mhm.
Yeah, and there were yeah, was people liked it. Yeah, it was a great response. Yeah, they loved
The
they
reading of
loved
the
it.
Nisargadatta, the one, yeah. I was thinking I was going to make I should make a YouTube channel with just those, all of those, and we should do 101 of them.
Mm,
And
that would be nice.
yeah, I'm thinking I can just make one in your name, make a channel in your name, give you the password, and just upload them all. And that would probably save us a lot of work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's okay.
Does that work for you, or do you want to have them
That's-
up on yours with everything else?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Either one. We can keep doing it how it's being done, I guess. I upload them to mine too, just to have them all there. But I'll very much like to have them all in a row, all 101. Take us a couple years.
Yeah.
You're up for it.
E- e- even when these bodies are gone, they'll still be there.
That's right.
Yeah,
You cannot kill this life.
exactly. Exactly.
Okay. Say hi to your aunt. Okay.
Uh,
Bye.
I will. I will.
Oh, why don't you let me know where are people congregating on Facebook? Is it Michael's group
Mm,
or is it a different? Are you just uploading it to your regular site or to Michael's group or what?
yeah, I for now I uploaded it on my site.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I'll take a
yeah,
look at that.
yeah. I'm gonna upload it as well on Michael's group.
Okay.
Yeah, mm. Yeah. But people have been like giving good responses.
I enjoy
they
these
love
talks.
them. Yeah.
Okay, talk to you next week.
Okay, thanks.
Bye.
Bye.